Before we begin today's episode, we wanted to announce that we have officially launched our Patreon, where you can find exclusive content, engage with North Coast, and get access to perks like recordings from live shows, freestyle tips and tricks, and Patreon-only episodes. Whoa, you're getting access. For top-tier patrons, we'll even have pre-order links for live events and virtual freestyle lessons. Sign me up. So visit patreon.com/North Coast Podcast and help your favorite hip-hop improv team thrive.
Yo, 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 yo. Thank you all for joining us. I'm Precious Gorgeous, a.k.a. Ralph, and this is the North Coast Hip Hop Improv Comedy Podcast. Today I got three other North Coasters with me. Who we got here?
I'm Luke.
Yeah.
I'm RJ.
Yeah.
I'm Dr. Brick.
All right. Now on this show, we do hip hop improv. We make comedy. We also interview very special, important, interesting artists and personalities from all over the place. And today we have a good friend of mine, a man who is a rapper, a musician, a producer, a DJ, a trusted friend. He's director of the Sony Music Maker project. Also does BAM Kids and is the host of Why Do You Art. Everybody give it up for Isaac Sawyer.
Welcome, man. Welcome.
What up?
So Ralph had a question that he was about to ask you right before we went on.
Before we got the cup.
Before we got the cup to squeeze.
The cup of recording.
Yeah. I am interested to hear the question.
Yeah, so I this is new information for me. The director of the Sony Music Maker program.
Yeah, it was new to me, and I looked at the email. I was like, "Oh yeah, I am directing this whole program." I was like, "Oh yeah, I forgot about that title thing." But it was like, okay. After I saw it in the email, I was like, "Yes, I am the director of the Sony Music Maker program."
Wow.
So
that?
basically, I work for this organization called Arts Connection. And they got a grant through Sony, and through that, they were like, Isaac is like the hip hop guy, the music guy, so we're gonna get him to, direct this program. So through that money, I was able to get 12 of my students a laptop, microphone,
Very
interface,
nice.
Wow. Logic Pro, just a bunch of cool stuff, and it was like, man, I directed that. Wow, I did that shit.
Man, let's go. That's that Sony money.
Yeah.
Woo. Sony money.
I wasn't getting paid directly through Sony.
Yeah, we have to say that.
We got you.
That's a huge deal. The work that you're working for as a relationship with them, and then they were like, "This is the guy."
Yeah, so it was really cool. It's like the last day we were able to take all my students to they're high school kids, so we didn't get all my students there, but a majority of them we got them to the Sony building, like the 28th floor, had them talk to executives and all that good stuff. Yeah, so
in the
really
city?
cool.
In the city?
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
didn't even know there was a Sony building in the city.
Yeah. I can't, can't talk about the location.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Sorry,
I want you passing your demo. I got my Beatbox.
We all signed the NDA.
Yeah, we also did, yeah.
So that's a title I forgot to add, is educator as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you always been, and how long have you been in education and like educating the youth?
I'm pretty new to it, like the full-time aspect of it.
Okay.
Was my last year was my first full year of teaching.
Okay.
But I definitely have been like on the teaching scope for many years. Like even so I'm from Las Vegas. When I lived in Las Vegas, from there, I had like gotten reached, like after I graduated, after I was from high school, they reached out and I was doing an open mic thing, and they reached out to me to come back to my school to talk to the kids then. So that was like early on. That was like the first thing that happened. And I was like, oh, I like this, like being able to like give back and give a little bit of knowledge, because at that time I was doing like some kind of talk about the connection between hip hop and poetry, and like it was really cool just to be like, yo, can you come back to the high school that you came and like, talk to the kids? I was like, cool, dope. And so that was the beginning of it. But yeah, like it's pretty new.
Pretty new.
Yeah.
How was that experience going back to your high school after graduating? Like, cause I imagine you're going in and you're like, oh, I know, I feel like pretty confident, like I'm the big dog. And then I know there were probably some kids that probably didn't know you that are like, who's this guy?
You know what? It's I don't want to age myself, but it was such a long time ago. Like I don't remember that. I don't remember that shit clearly, but
right.
It's like yes, I was there.
You were there.
I remember that day.
Yeah.
What do you? What for you? I don't want to ask you to sum up that talk, but do you have one talking point or thought about what is the connection for you between poetry and hip hop?
I mean, I think it's very clear. It's like the verbs, the words. You know, the using the words to create a picture or create an experience.
Okay, let's battle right now.
Hey, the experience.
So you also do why do you art? Yes. I watched one of your Instagram reels on that. You were interviewing someone who had like a homie over in Europe that he was working with.
Right.
Can you tell me like how that started and then like why do you art? I want to know that.
I know that's Sway. Sway is a character.
Sway,
It's
okay.
so funny. Everybody else did the
that
regular interview. He was like, I'm gonna do the side view and then answer.
That's
When I looked
exactly
at-
what it was.
He's such a character, man. But he is like a hustler. Anyway, but
Before you say, I want to
yeah.
say there's a lot of notable guests on that. It's a series that Isaac does on his Instagram. A lot of past guests of North Coast podcasts, including
yes,
Dizzy,
Dizzy Sense.
Yeah.
Dizzy,
Kayla.
Kayla, okay.
yeah,
Kayla,
Milady.
yeah.
Kayla, Milady.
myself. Which I'm very proud to have been on there. But also, who did I see you had on there? Mark Maron you had on there. The great homeboy Sandman you had on there. Like there's a lot of interesting. It's a really beautiful cross section of not just New York, but like the New York kind of hip hop art scene.
Yeah.
You know, and it's all like happenstance. It's like when I saw Mark Maron after I got my haircut, and I was like, oh shit. I didn't want you. Let me grab him real quick. You know what I'm saying? I was like, hey, and I just ask them because they could say no. They'd be like, yo, I'm on my way to a meeting right now. I don't really have time for that. Or, I can't do a TV thing or any kind of
Yeah.
But they're cool. You know what I'm saying? Like David Cross. Like he was cool enough to do one, but after I watched it, I was like, I think he is annoyed at me. He's like, I'm tired of doing these. And at the end, I was like, I think he doesn't like this, but we're just gonna keep it going. You know,
just push on through.
But like, a lot of terrific. I've always thought it's like such a potent question, and you're so great at like, because they're each less than a minute usually.
Right.
And it's just like fun and interesting, but like it's a very earnest. You inspire very earnest answers and like vulnerable answers from people, and I'm so curious about what made you start doing that. You started doing it not too long before the pandemic,
right?
And then what's made you persist with it, and what is behind that for you?
Yeah, I think I think the last time I tried to explain it to was I have a lot of like really incredibly talented people that like are in my orbit. I wouldn't say like we're super close friends or like
you're a great connector.
Like
you have a great network of people.
Yeah, it's just I just try to keep people with great energy like that, like are motivated and they're just not like I don't really like greasy people. So I don't really fuck with greasy people. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like
fuck with them.
I've been working.
I don't fuck with greasy people. 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 I don't fuck with people that are too damn slimy. They're looking at me like they Australian blimey. They over here being so greasy like chicken, but I don't want them on my fingers, no licking. Why you so greasy? So much oil. Your life is so hard. You got so much toil. Nasty. Get away. I don't like you today. I don't fuck with greasy people. I don't fuck with greasy
I don't like
people.
'em.
I don't fuck with greasy
Get away.
people. I don't fuck with greasy people.
Okay, no, I do not fuck with the grease. If you come to me, you just must say please. I do not fuck with you if you got grease on, and you know me, you just got to say please on. If you got that grease in your hand, you gotta run away. Yeah, you gotta don't care. We don't care because we don't fuck with the grease. So get the hell out of here if you so greasy.
I don't fuck with greasy people. I don't fuck with greasy people. I don't fuck with greasy people. I don't fuck with greasy people.
You're slimy, you're shiny, I don't like you, get behind me, don't touch me, you're ugly, I hope you die playing rugby, get away, not today, Satan, get away, not today, Satan.
Oh, I don't fuck with greasy people. I don't fuck with greasy people. I don't fuck with greasy people. I don't fuck with greasy people.
I don't mess with them, not at all. Like fries, no lies. Those guys stay away, not inches, miles. Give me hundreds and thousands. I'm pounding. I'm doing me. What's it sounding like? Like I'm a hater? I'm not a hater. You just want cheese, like a cheese grater.
I don't fuck with greasy people. I don't fuck with greasy people. I don't fuck with greasy people. I don't fuck with cheesy people. Cheesy people, yeah.
Hey.
Great hook, dude.
We do not fuck with the grease.
Don't fuck with them greasy folks.
I knew it when he said that. Somebody was
That was exactly.
I do want to change the topic a little bit.
Okay,
You know
okay.
you don't fuck with greasy people,
Yeah.
but before we started recording, you did say something that it sounds like you do fuck with, which is a weighted blanket.
No, let's not do this on the podcast. Oh, man.
That
You are
just sa-
exposing me right now.
It just was such a nice mental picture. I would love for you to talk more about that. You said
Yo,
your wife has a weighted
yo,
blanket that she doesn't
Big
really
up
use.
to my wife, Shayla. She's the best thing that has ever happened to me in
Shout
my
out,
whole
shout
entire
out.
Shout out
life.
Shayla.
Yeah.
And her friend gave her a weighted blanket. I hope her friend's not listening.
Yeah.
She's like, I gave her. You not supposed to.
Send her the link and say, don't listen to this ever.
So it was a gift, and she doesn't really use it. And I was like, I'll give it a try. And it has just become like therapy. It's therapeutic. It's like, I'm just gonna get under my weighted blanket and just be still.
What is the experience like for you? Because I know some people, not me, I like a weighted blanket,
Yeah.
but some people feel like they're trapped.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
But what is it like for you?
Feels like a body hug. Blanket hug. No, I'm just
We can. If you want to go into it, we can do that. Good up, blanket hook. That's a good hook. That's a sexy hook.
What was, you said you just played a show recently or played a there's a venue you just played that you,
Ralph, I'm always playing shows. You know what I'm saying? I'm
yeah.
always. Well, I just did Hudson Yards this last
Yes.
weekend. That was really dope.
Yeah.
For the Colored Colors and Hudson Yards Hell's Kitchen like combo, and they had a bunch of vendors. And shout out to Lost Island Arts that curated, curated the
you're
event.
curating a lot of cool shows.
Yeah, yeah.
Could you describe? I don't think I've seen you even play by yourself in a minute. Like, and you have such a diverse skill set. Could you talk us through like what is your set right now? What do you usually?
Yeah, so I mean, what I had this intention like this last couple of sets, like because this is the second time I did Hudson Yards. They asked me back because it was live the last time. It was like people were dancing and shit.
Yeah.
But so like my set right now for that particular thing, and what's really cool is like I've never done the same set ever. So I've done like thousands of shows, and it's always a different combination of music. It's always a different way to approach it. Like everybody has seen one Isaac Sawyer show, and it's always been unique. It's never been like the same combination of songs ever.
That's really cool.
So this new iteration of stuff is like I do live, like I do beatboxing. I have my looper, and so I do like I start out with beatboxing. I loop my beatboxing, and then I have my SP404, which I use for like finger drumming or doing samples, and then it's just like I go into jazz. Like I'm just like I'm going to improvise. I'm going to feel what I'm feeling, and it's hard sometimes because you're like I look up at the room. I'm like I'm going somewhere there. I don't know if they like where I'm going. Let me kind of like sometimes I'm in my mind too much because my wife will be like they were jamming. I'm like I don't know. It didn't seem like they were jamming. It's just like I was up here sweating.
Yeah. What is that balance for you like? Because we've talked about this
Yes.
about our stuff before. Like
Yes.
how much are you thinking about? Let me do what the audience wants to hear, or let me do what Isaac wants to do.
No, I mean I've done I've done enough shows where I'm able to like find out what that is, like where like I've been just I'm not even gonna look up at y'all. I'm doing my thing. Maybe you guys are feeling it. Like, shout out to Brooklyn Wildlife. Like, I think that's a safe space sometimes for me to just put my head down. I don't really care what y'all fucking with. Y'all gonna fuck with it. You know what I mean? I'm going somewhere. And then when I look up, it's like, I'm like, yeah. I'm like, yeah. I'm in. I'm doing. One time I was doing my set, I was like, I know I'm doing good because I looked up. I was like, oh, titties. Just, I was like, shout out to Chris Carr, man. Just, it's like, yo. They're just dancing. I'm doing good.
They were
right
feeling
now.
it.
That's how you know you're doing good. Is when the titties come outside. That's how you know you're doing good. Is when the titties come outside. And like the sun, they shine. They shine. That's all I wanted to do.
That's all we're doing. That one's not gonna make the rounds.
That's a 1 of 1 right there.
That's a 101. That's a Ralph original. That'll be on this next EP, Precious Gorgeous EP.
I was about to do the bass, but then I was like, oh.
The titties, comma, they shine.
Titties.
Wow.
How do we read that?
Such a Ralph moment. So you grew up in Las Vegas.
Yep.
Shout
out, 702.
702, is that that's the area?
Yeah,
Right?
702.
What's the zip code?
89.
What was it like growing up there, and then how did you get into eventually doing all this that you're doing now? Like how did you get started with that?
Man, magic. No.
Magic. Copperfield.
Like, I think, so shout out to my parents. My mom was an artist. She painted and she sketched. And then my dad was a DJ. So I was surrounded by music all the time, and he had the equipment there. And so, like with producing, I just like found a Casio keyboard in a closet. One time it was like dusty, and then like I had a karaoke microphone that my friend gave me, and I stuck it on top of the thing. My friend had my dad had tape to tape, so I would like make beats from tape to tape, and I'm old. I'm like no, like I listen to other producers. They're like, yeah. My first thing was FL Studios. I was like, I didn't have some computers. I was like making snares with like box of crayons and shit. It was like, it's like innovation for real.
Okay.
So yeah, just like my beginning was like that way, and then like I came up in the poetry scene too, like so that gave me confidence with my when I started to really like step into the MC thing. I was already super confident because the poetry is just like being able to just stand on your word and not having like that beat to fall back on. Just like that really made me a stronger lyricist. I was like, yo, I could acapella the shit out of them. And that kind of works its way into my sets a lot, where I'm just like, turn the music off. You guys are gonna hear every single word I'm saying. You know, just
yeah, we don't really do that much. That's a cool. Well, we do like a
cool
poetry
idea.
scene sometimes, but yeah, we don't like rap without the beat sometimes. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the acapella. One day we're gonna get one of those. One day Brick's gonna go. No.
Hey, hold on, no. You still got a job, bro. You still got a job.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
I'll make sure I stay here. I will not leave this scene.
He's like, after this is like, we just do an acapella verses from now on. Thank you, Isaac. I'm like,
We're going to stomp and clap only.
And some trash can lids, gimmick and fringe on Stomp the production. Oh, that's great. So you got in it. You did poetry, and then did you move straight to New York from that area, from Las Vegas?
No, I was in Las Vegas for 27 years of my life.
Damn,
and then on my birthday I left, and I had like a gathering, and it was funny because some friends I have so many like people that I keep in contact, but sometimes I don't get like, and I just invited everybody, and they were like, "You're going where? Tomorrow? You're not coming back?" I was like, "Oh yeah, we haven't talked, but yeah, I'm going to New York. But hey, happy birthday! You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Chill out, have some cake."
You my best friend, but I'm leaving. You my best friend, but I'm leaving. You my best friend, but I'm leaving.
Gotta
You
go.
my best friend, but I'm leaving.
I gotta
You
go.
my best friend, but I'm leaving.
I gotta
You
go.
my best friend, but I'm leaving. leaving.
I gotta
You're my
pack my
best
bags.
friend, but I'm leaving.
I gotta
You're my
go
best
away.
friend, but I'm leaving.
Okay, being best friends, yeah, you know it's been great. Yeah, we known each other since we were just little babes. Yeah, we hung around on the damn playground. But I tell you, I got something new coming around. Cause I'm leaving and I'm never coming back. I got to go cause I'm on the attack. Yeah, I'm your best friend, but I'm leaving. Sorry for the late notice, but I gotta go, man.
You're my best friend, but I'm leaving. Best friend, but I'm leaving. Best friend, but I'm leaving. Best friend, but I'm
You going
leaving.
where? I mean, why? You ain't scared? You're gonna die? You're gonna leave your home that you know to go out there for God knows what? What are you doing with that bag? Why don't you sit your damn ass down somewhere where it'll be cool? Don't you know that you could be food?
You're my best friend, but I'm leaving. Best friend, but I'm leaving. My best friend, but I'm leaving. My best friend, but I'm leaving. Don't you got a mortgage? Don't you got a house? Don't you got a boyfriend? Don't you got a spouse? Why you going now? Where you leaving to? Don't you understand? 1 + 1 is 2. Don't you have taxes? Don't you live in the government? Don't you understand? We can't get enough of it. Why are you leaving? That is deceiving. You, Evie. Best friend, but I'm leaving. My best friend, but I'm leaving. My best friend, but I'm leaving. My best friend, but I'm leaving.
I gotta go right now. I'm sorry, this don't fit my style. Oh, we haven't talked in a while. It's okay. Here goes my text. And just have a piece of cake. It's all good, man. It's not too late. You can get a plane ticket and come visit. We can go to somewhere and kick
You're
it.
the best friend, but here's some cake. Is my best friend, but I'm leaving. My best friend, but I'm leaving. My best friend, but I'm leaving.
I'm leaving on that plane.
Never coming back again.
Yeah. I also want to bring up. I think from early on when we started doing North Coast podcast, I was like, we gotta have Isaac on because I feel like you. I don't know that what I could call what you do. Well, I could call it hip hop improv because you improvise most of your sets. But I also feel like it's probably the no coincidence that I feel like you have such a spirit, I think, of an improviser, such a spirit of play and of playfulness all the time whenever I see you. And that shows up in your personality and how you do community and in how you make music.
Appreciate that,
What's
man.
that about?
I mean, I love people. That's what that's about, man. I love people. You know what I'm saying? I love the potential of people. I love eradicating people's sadness. You know, I love being able to give people a space, you know, if I can,
Yeah.
you know. I invite people, they don't always show up. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah.
Ralph. No,
I'm
I'm just
sorry.
I'm just playing.
I missed Isaac's
playing.
last birthday party. I was
Stab,
really
stab.
bummed. I was really because it's always such a wonderful time. It's always such a great party.
Nah, you know, we've supported each other over the years. So like, if you know, if I
Absolutely.
miss something, you don't miss. You know, it's just
Yeah.
it's all good. We know we connect. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that is such a great. I don't think I want to have more of that sense of like wanting to make space to make people happy, give them some space for. Maybe that's part of what this is for me, like doing improv and trying to do shows.
Oh, and let me come back to that earlier question. Like, why do you art was kind of about like connecting. Like, it's like I know all these people, and I want to like. I could never like I had events, and not all, everybody would never show up. So it was like, okay, why do you art is a way of being like, hey, this is the person I wanted you to meet. Check this person out. This is like they're dope. And then the next person, yo, look at this person. They dope. They making dope music. They're making dope art. They're a dope photographer. Like they're dope dancer. Like all of that creative energy. It's just, I mean, just wanted to present it. It's like, yo, look at these people. Look at what they're doing. And inspire younger artists too. It's like, you could do it too. You could do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could do it.
I wonder what connections have been made just from that series existing. Because it was like, what, 150 episodes now?
Yeah, we're on 170 now.
Wow.
Yeah. People, I know people can find, if you go on Instagram and you just search the hashtag
YD art. well, you or why do you art?
Just why do you art?
Yeah,
and you can find it. Yeah, it's really fun series.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was thinking earlier when I was about to get on the elevator, I was like, man, why do you art is such a great idea, because I was like saying to myself, like, architects are artists, right? Like engineers are artists.
Yep.
Like there's so many, art can take so many forms. And I think art is typically kind of like classified as a few things usually when people talk about the arts. And I like the idea of like featuring, people that are just like doing what they consider art themselves. Because so many things could be an art, and doesn't have to be like one thing, or like, oh, I'm not an artist. Oh, really? Do you like to write anything at all? Do you like to read? Like there's all sorts of different types of art.
Yep.
That I think is really cool, that you're like featuring so many people that have various different fields and concentrations. Yeah,
and what I try to do too is like I try to like have people that I've at least seen 2 or 3 times. Like if there's an artist and like I want to get on one of the artists, like I just met you. Let's like let me see you in a room another time. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or like, and a lot of times, like I said, it's happenstance. So when I first started, it was like catching people on the train, seeing people at an event. I was walking down the street. Oh, I see Ralph. Yo, let me do why the art. It was always, and I was always catching people off guard too.
Yeah.
People are like, I don't know. I'm like, no, you gotta do it now. You gotta do it now. It's not like later when you get your makeup on. It's like, let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
And that's why you get those pure answers, because they're like, I don't get time to prepare my lie.
Right.
No, just like,
You gotta prepare your lies. Prepare your lies. You gotta prepare your lies.
Preparation.
Prepare your lies.
Get some files.
Somebody wants me to be vulnerable. Oh man, I know what I gotta do.
Good, do it.
I gotta find a reason to step out the room. Say, don't worry, I'll be back soon. Then I pull out my jotting notebook. Then I jot it down like a good hook. These are gonna be all my lies that I tell right in front of their eyes. Prepare your lies. You gotta prepare your lies. You gotta prepare your lies.
Preparation.
You gotta prepare your lies.
Oh, I'm not that in an hour. Guess what? I was in the shower. That's a lie. Guess what? It's not great. Guess what? Oh, my life train was late. Ooh, yeah. That shit was a lie, cause I wasn't really there. So I'm sorry, cause I prepared it under my hair. Yeah, that's a lie coming right from my brain. And I'm sorry, cause I know that my life feels so plain.
Prepare your lies. You gotta prepare your lies. You gotta prepare your lies. You gotta prepare your lies.
You're devious.
I'm gonna pick you up from school at 3.
Oh, Dad, where you at? Whoa, Dad, where you at? Dad,
Oh, you gotta prepare your lies. You gotta prepare your lies. You gotta prepare your lies. You gotta prepare.
Since you was born.
Your lies.
I was pre-paralyzed since I was 5. I don't really care, man, my shit's really live. BS, that's my life. There's no stress, no excuses, no consequences. When I go through it, all some winces. Like, what? What'd you say? That's the truth. It's the truth. Why can't you look me in the eyes? Cause I'll be preparing my life.
Prepare your lies. You gotta prepare your lies. You gotta prepare your lies. Get them ready. Prepare your
Preparation.
Oh man, them lies was prepared. That's a great. But I do love that. I do love that. There's something I remember. I watched the episode that I was in, which it's one of the early ones, so it's not labeled, and I've also searched it and watched it many times. I'm very proud of being on that show. But there's one point where you asked me, why are you talking so fast? And I was like, because I was just like, I think I have to talk fast to do this show.
Because he didn't prepare his lies.
No, I do have some long-winded people, and I have to do like.
Yeah.
Mandela was like, oh really? He was like the only person that's ever had a two episode one. It was like,
thoughtful man.
This dude.
former
I can't
guest of
edit this
North
out.
Coast podcast.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
Shout
beautiful.
out, one of the illest lyricists in New York.
Yes.
Yeah,
I think that's the other thing I just love about and even having people like Mark Maron, Homeboy Sam, and David Cross. It's like in the end, it's this egalitarian. Like it's just artists. It's just about the community of artists. And like as somebody who also like, I love being of the for lack of a better term, the fraternity of artists, the order of being an artist. You know, whatever medium you use, it's so cool and like it shows such a dope reminder of that. Before we wrap up, I want to ask: do you have any music stuff that's out right now beyond all your prolific live performing? Like,
you could check everything out at isawyermusic.com, and that's a letter I SAWYER music.com. And that has a lot of the, there's Bandcamp stuff up there. There's, I'm on Spotify, Isaac Sawyer. My listeners are very low because I was always like against, like I know why they're low. I was like always against Spotify. I was just like, penny. I don't think I'm gonna be like, yo, check out my stuff on Spotify. Right. Check it out. I was just like, go to Bandcamp. You could give me some pennies for my stuff directly.
Direct.
Yeah, I know people. I know it's not always the best way. They're like, I gotta download this and download it. It's like, just do it.
It's Bandcamp is I think is super viable still.
Yeah.
I think people still really use it, so I think that's really dope. And I think that goes also with like your just independent spirit. You're just always out there making something for yourself.
Yes.
And just like, what's a new thing that I can make? I also want to talk about. Are you still doing stuff? You're still doing stuff with Mike Larry?
Yeah. Well, he, so we were part of the Anomaly Conglomerate. We are part of the Anomaly Conglomerate, but Mike is, genius man, dude that just puts together stuff. So he has a producer. So Anomaly Conglomerate was about 6 or 7 producers. Mm-hmm. And we did the Money Train party where we took over a subway platform, then moved onto the train. And there's footage of it. It's on YouTube. You could look up the Money Train party. It's really dope. That was 2019. We did it 3 times. So it was fucking dope.
So what actually happened when you got on this?
So we just vibed out. So it was producers. We were playing our beats on the platform, and then we had a movable cart. So we moved the cart into the train, and then we have a DJ, and the DJ turned up. DJ Suwap. Shout out to Suwap. So Mike has a new thing called the Kaizen Club, which is a broader thing with all of the producers of the whole world basically. And like he does like meetups, and we just recently had a meetup in on 23rd Madison Square Park, and the cops came through and didn't say shit. They was just like, we've been complaints, and we're gonna take your shit. No warning.
It was just like I saw that.
Yeah, it was no warning. It was just like, and we were all sitting there like, and I was the most vocal. I had to shut the fuck up sometimes. It's like, bro, it's not your. It's like not your equipment, bro. Yeah. I was just like, I said, sir, you have the authority to just say, turn it down, and then we move on, and you move on, and like we're all adults. Like you have the authority. Yeah, we're not children here. Like we understand what's going on. We could turn it off. You don't have to punitively. Yeah. We don't have to lay on the sword for you. Like, why do you have to do this? And then they're just so resolute, and they're like, we're already saying, and just trying to like, we've had complaints. It's like, but nobody was complaining to us. Everybody's vibing out. Everybody's like bobbing their head. But anyway, we've been at a bunch of different locations, and nobody said anything until then.
Yeah. Well, fuck the police.
Fuck the police. Fuck the
at least those police.
Why is this podcast off?
At least those guys. But if you're a nice policeman, we love you.
Yes.
But I'm glad you brought that up. I hope Mike has figured out a way to resolve it. If not, if there's anybody who can find a way to support Mike Larry in any way and support Kaizen Club, am I saying it right?
Yeah, Kaizen Club. Yeah.
Kaizen Club, please do do that. We're as we've been talking about, it's a community of artists in the city, and we survive off of the support of one another, but also the support of people who consume whatever art we make.
Yeah.
You're also a part of what we do, and we need you. So support Mike Larry Draw.
Quick question about when you were doing the music on the train. Did you have people that were sitting down like, okay, this is happening, but then they started feeling it, and then they like got up and started fucking?
Let me tell you, the first one was kind of wild, yo. Like we went on there, and it wasn't like 1,000 people. We were like, you know, we were pretty thick, but yo, there was randoms on the train. I will never forget this. The dude was like sitting there, and we turned up so mad. He was like, yo, this is dope. This is really dope. Got his blunt out and lit his blunt out on the train. And I turned to Shay and I was like, Shay, he about to get us in trouble. We just playing music, and they gonna come over here thinking he with us.
Right.
I'm on the commute, but I gotta turn it up.
I'm on the commute, but I gotta turn it up.
With a blunt.
I'm on the commute, but I gotta turn it up.
Smoke it up.
I'm on the commute, but I gotta turn it up.
I'm on the commute, but you know I gotta turn it up. Yeah. You know I gotta go ahead and light the blunt. Yeah. You know I'm sitting here up on my seat, going to punch in and be real discreet. But then these performers, they made it on the train. I was sitting there just reading, feed my brain. But the music started, and it started working. So I stood up, and I started twerking.
I'm on the commute, but I gotta turn it up. I'm on the commute, but I gotta turn it up.
Turn it up, turn it up.
I'm on the commute, but I gotta turn it up.
Excuse me.
I'm on the commute, but I gotta turn it up.
Hey.
I be working. Go ahead.
I don't know, but I'm coming up. I was on commute. I was on the train lost. I was on the train bored. I was on the train crossed, cause I gotta go to work and I gotta punch into a job, and I don't wanna punch into no job. It is wrong. I was feeling quite mad. Then the dude came on the train and he had some speakers that was booming and boxing, and I was like, man, I ain't gonna show no caution. I'ma do a back spin.
Then I gotta turn it up. I'm on the commute, but I gotta turn it up.
Smoke it up.
I'm on the commute, but I gotta turn it up. With a blunt, with a blunt, with a blunt, with a blunt. Every day you know I do me a fine dance, and it's kicking and stuff, cause I work in finance. I go to work, go home, man, that shit is boring. Then I watch basketball to see who is scoring. Then I get on the train, you know the F. I'm looking at this handsome guy, with the cleft in his chin, and he gets me fucking rising. Oh my gosh, I'm here inspiring us. I'm on the commute, and I gotta turn it up. I'm on the commute, but I gotta turn it up. I'm on the commute, but I gotta turn it up. With a blunt, with a blunt, with a blunt, with a blunt.
Hey, I was just partying with my homies. It's not me, I'm not one and only. Yeah, we got a group, we got a troop. We telling truth, we real proof. Then this dude in the corner, he looked like a real loner. What's that smell? I think that's the smell of a little marijuana.
I'm on the commute, but I gotta turn it up. I'm on the commute, but I gotta turn it up. I'm on the commute, but I gotta turn it up. With a blunt, with a blunt, with a blunt, with a blunt. Hey.
Oh man.
Yeah. Thank you,
Isaac
Isaac.
Sawyer, everybody. Check out Isaac. Tell us where we can find you on Instagram.
You can find me at I Sawyer Music at Instagram. I Sawyer Music. That's ISAWYERMUSIC.
Check Isaac out there. Check out his website. Check out the music. Check out Why Do You Art. See him performing at Hudson Yards. See him with Lost Island Arts.
Yep.
And I'm Ralph.
Oh, and if you live in Denver, I will be doing an art show and a performance with Homeboy Sandman, Aesop Rock, Blue, Quelle Chris, August 4th and 5th.
Hell yeah, man.
That's
Right on.
super dope. Can't wait for that. Okay, so check that out if you're in Denver. We're North Coast. We love you so much. Check out our website. Join our Patreon. There's special extra content that you're not getting on here that you can get on Patreon.
Super special extra.
Check us out. Take classes with us if you're in New York or if you're online. We teach hip hop improv everywhere, and that's it. We love you. Check you next time.
Yeah.